Let's start today in a cross-legged position. So come to sit on the center of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes as you exhale. Palms resting down on your knees. Take another breath in. Roll your shoulders back, lengthen your spine long, and exhale. Start to create a long and smooth breath. As you inhale, allowing your belly to expand, and as you exhale, allowing it to contract as you empty your lungs. In through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale again, fill up your belly. Expand your whole body. And as you exhale, contracting, notice everything shrinking. Keep breathing like this. And whilst doing that, taking a moment to check in. How is your breath? Is it smooth and steady, or perhaps shallow and shaky? And now noticing the quality of your mind. Notice any thoughts, feelings, moods that you're bringing with you today. And without trying to change that or become frustrated with how you feel, just noticing and remaining open and curious. And our final check-in before we begin our practice, just noticing our body. Any areas of tension, any particular aches or pains, or maybe any areas of comfort and softness in the body. Taking one more breath in, exhale. Then slowly open your eyes. From your cross-legged position, take your feet out in front of you with your knees bent. Place your hands behind you, either fingertips facing forwards or backwards, it's up to you. We're going to start to open up our hips by windscreen wiping our knees from side to side. And as you get to each side, open your chest, look over the back shoulder. So opening the chest, kind of a sassy movement here. Pop your chest, pop your bum in, and just move like this. Again, stay with your breath. Just gently waking up our hips, opening and closing. We're doing a hip opening practice today, so before we get on to anything more strenuous, just gently waking everything up. All right, drop your knees to one side, maybe the right side, so you're with me. Come up off your hands, tilt your torso and your pelvis to face your right leg, the front leg, and then from there, bow forwards. Maybe that's just walking your hands forwards, or maybe coming all the way down onto your forearms. One breath in, breathe out. Walk your hands back in, take your left hand over your right knee, right hand behind you, twist, looking over your right shoulder, and maybe even looking at your left toes behind your back. Okay, unravel, knees going over to the left side, and then walking your hands forwards, like we did on the other side, and coming down onto your forearms, or resting your torso all the way down on the mat. Breathe in, come out of that right hand to left knee, left fingertips behind you, twist over to the left side, looking over the left shoulder, and maybe glimpsing your right feet behind you. Moving over onto the right side again, lower your torso down. One breath. Inhale, rise up, twisting over to the right side. Exhale, moving over to the left. Again, drop your torso down or walking your hands out, stretching out through the left glute. Breathe in, twisting over to the left, using your hand to support you in your twist. We're going to do one more on each side. So again, over to the right, stretching out that right glute, lowering your upper body down. Breathe in, rise up, twisting to the right. Inhale. Exhale, moving over to the left, lower down. Stretching through our left glute, almost as if we're in a pigeon pose. Breathe in, rise up, twist all the way to the left. All right, then coming back through center, we're just going to make our way over to a tabletop position. So on your hands and knees, wrists under elbows, knees under hips. Can you inhale, lift your right toes up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, open your right knee out towards the side. Inhale, squeeze your knee into your chest. And exhale, squeeze your right foot all the way through your grounded hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up, coming through crescent lunge. And then exhale, interlace your fingers, placing your palms down on your knees. Inhale, push your knee away from your chest, straightening through your elbows. And then lowering your head back if it feels good. If that feels too much, keeping your chin in. And as we exhale, we're going to lower our torso all the way down onto the knee. Inhale, straighten your arms, arching your back. Exhale, lower belly meets the knee. We're going to do a couple more movements like this. Really opening into the left hip. Lengthening our hip flexor. Last one, inhale up. Exhale down. And just breathing for a moment, lengthening into that left hip flexor. Ground your hands and then just pick up your right foot and move that lower leg into a pigeon leg position. And you're going to need to crawl your left leg back to allow your hips to come down. And then just moving side to side here. Stretching out through the right glute. And then walking your hands forwards, maybe coming down onto your forearms. And maybe all the way down to rest your forehead on the mat. Wherever you are you breathing? Breathe in, walk your hands back towards your shin. We're going to roll over onto our left glute, and in doing so, allowing your right knee to come up, and then sweep your shin into your chest, hook your right foot into your left elbow, wrapping your right elbow around your right knee, interlace your fingers, squeeze your shin into your chest. Open up the chest, looking gently upwards, squeezing, really feeling the stretch all through this right side of your glute. And then we're going to drop our right foot down next to your left knee, taking your hands behind you over the left side, swivel round, come onto your knees into a tabletop position. Other side now, inhale, left leg rises, arch your back. Exhale, take your left knee out to the left side. Inhale, squeeze your left knee into your chest. And as you exhale, plant your left foot down between your hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up, crescent lunge. And then exhale, interlace your fingers, push them down into your left knee. Inhale, straightening your arms, arching your back, sinking your right hip flexor down. Right glute is active. Exhale, bring your belly down to your left knee, sinking into your right hip, lengthening through that hip flexor. Inhale, straighten your arms, arch your back. Again, keep your chin tucked in if that's what you need to do, or release your head back. Exhale, knee to chest. Last one, inhale up and exhale. Bring your chest down onto your chin, holding here for a moment, really lengthening our right hip flexor. And then just plant your hands, lift your left leg up, and then bring yourself down into a pigeon pose. Move your hips, move your back leg to allow your hips to come down. Inhale, open your chest, and just rock your hips side to side, and maybe feeling that lovely stretch all through our left glute here. And then if you can, coming down onto your elbows and maybe down onto your forehead. Breathing. And on your next in-breath, walk your hands back up. Swivel yourself round, taking your upper body through center and then over to the back of your mat. Allowing your left knee to come up and then scooping up your leg. Hook your elbows around your foot and knee, interlace your hands, squeeze your shin into your chest. Inhale, slightly raising your gaze. Exhale, squeezing into your chest. Again, notice in your body where you feel this stretch, maybe all the way up through your IT band on the left side, through your glutes. And then we're going to exhale, drop your legs. We're not going around into a tabletop this time. Scoot your bum a bit forwards, come down onto your back. Lift your knees, palms facing down on your knees, and start to make some circles with your knees in one direction. Pairing your movement with your breath, changing directions. Okay, straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to do an active hip opening stretch here. So slowly and gently allow your feet to part and your legs to fall open. And as they open, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, your quads, activate everything in your legs and push your toes down towards the floor. And then inhale, squeeze your feet back together. Again, squeeze all those muscles, really stretch your toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, open wide. Engage your muscles, so everything is protected. We're not leaning into our passive flexibility here. We're doing more of an active stretch, increasing your strength at your end of range movement. Again, inhale, squeeze your legs together. We're going to do one more of those. Point your toes up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Squeeze your lower belly down into the mat, your lower back. And this will also help tone our pelvic floor during this movement. So exhale, opening your legs out wide, squeezing your pelvic floor up, and hold. If it feels too intense, you can kind of hold your legs a little bit. And then breathing in, squeeze your legs together. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Exhale, lower your back down. Bring your knees above your hips. Lift your shins up so they're parallel with the floor. Take your hands to the inside of your knees, holding your knees. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, open your knees, trying to keep that 90-degree angle underneath your knees. So keeping your shins nice and parallel to the ground, 90-degree angle underneath your knees. And then holding here with our active strength. So squeeze your glutes, push your knees down towards the floor, holding here. And if that feels kind of too intense, then you can take support underneath your thighs and just take a little bit of the stretch away. Breathe in. Squeeze your pelvic floor, lift upwards. Exhale. Breathe in. And as you exhale, close your knees. Squeeze your knees into your chest once more. And then we're just going to make some gentle circles again with our knees in one direction. And then change. And we're going to do our final pose of our class now. So roll over onto one side. And then just open your knees. This is called frog pose. So open your knees as wide as they'll go. Come onto your forearms. And again, we want that 90-degree angle underneath our knees. So where the bend in our knee is, we want our hips in line with our knees and our ankles in line with our knees as well. So not so far forwards like that, not so far backwards like that. Everything nicely in line. And then in this position, we're going to do some pelvic tilts, moving through anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. It's likely that this is going to be a really tiny movement. Just imagine your cat-cow spine, but just with your lumbar spine, the base of your spine. So tilting your pelvis under, squeeze your glutes, and then kind of arching through your back more, relaxing your glutes. Squeeze your glutes under, rounding gently through the spine. Exhale. And then we're going to hold here in stillness. You can either come down onto your chest here or staying up on your forearms. Breathing wherever you are. And just send a little brain signal to your hips and tell them that it's okay to relax here. Because a lot of the battle when we're in these positions is fighting with our cerebellum against whether a movement is safe or not to do. And the more unsafe your body feels the movement is, the more your muscles will seize up. So take a nice in-breath and gently tell your body, it's okay, we're safe to relax. As long as it feels safe to do so in your body and you're not encountering any pain or overstretching, but certainly there should be some discomfort in this very deep open hip stretch. Taking one more breath in, one more out. And we're going to make our way into a child's pose from here. So either you can come up like this. I like to bring my toes together behind me and then take my hips back and use my toes to squeeze my knees together in a very gentle movement, as the hips can be incredibly vulnerable and sensitive after such a movement. And then wherever you are, come down into a child's pose. We're going to rest in this final pose, taking a moment to check in, noticing how you're feeling in your mind and also how you're feeling in your body. Maybe you notice some intense sensations in your hips, like me. Or maybe you're not feeling anything there. Maybe the stretch wasn't enough for you. Just noticing, perhaps feeling suddenly emotional, which can happen when we do deep hip opening exercises. A lot of our emotions can be trapped and stored in our hips, and then they can flow out when we open them. So whatever's going on for you right now, just noticing and being curious.